So, in the last lecture we were discussing about the equivalence of these two theories, that is Cantor's theory and Dedekind's theory. Dedekind's theory is based on the cuts and Cantor theory is based on the sequences of convergence sequence of rational numbers. And we have seen one that if a section is given, then a convergence sequence is given, then we can identify a section, is it not? That is, if x n be a convergence sequence, this is continued from previous lecture. Okay. Then limit of sequence will be there later. So, x n be a convergent sequence, and suppose x n be a convergent sequence of rational number is given, of rational numbers be given, then we can identify a section L r, is it not, corresponding to this sequence x n, which represents the number x, which represents a real number x, as follows. Okay. We are taking lower class L contains those classes such that x n minus a means set of those x n minus a is any real number. Let a be any rational number represented by the same sequence a etcetera, and the real number x n minus a is represented by x minus a. So, set of those numbers a for which x n minus a is greater than fixed is there, that is positive, and after some time is greater than equal to 0 of for n greater than equal to say n 1, and upper class R with the set of those sequences we are taking for which x n minus a is negative from and after sometimes greater than say n 2. Now, these two classes L and R will decompose this entire sequence x n, we can break up, and this class x point which correspond to x n will give the section L R. This we have discussed already. Okay. So, this is no point of going. Now, we will do it today the converse part, that if suppose the section is given, then corresponding to this section we can generate a sequence of rational number which will give the same real number as the section L R represent. So, let us see the converse. Conversely, we can say a convergence sequence corresponds to a section, will always correspond to a section, okay, as follows. So, let us suppose let L R be a section, let L R be a given section of positive rational number, of rational numbers, Let L R be a given section of rational number. Okay. Now, this is a number, here is a some rational number say x. So, here this L, this is R. Now, if we pick up any two rational numbers, then the property of this section A that we can identify the two rational number, one belongs to this class, another belongs to this class, such that the difference of these two can be made as small as we please. Okay. So, this is the property which we have. So, since L r is a section and we know that two rational numbers can be picked up such that one belongs to one is in L and the other is, while other is in R, and their difference is less than any pre-assigned number epsilon. Is it not? Pre-assigned positive rational number epsilon. Rational epsilon. This we know that we can identify the two rational numbers, one belongs to L, other belongs to R, and their difference can be made less than epsilon. Please. So, for any epsilon one can identify these two numbers. So, this is given. Okay. However, is one. So, let us suppose let a sequence epsilon n be a convergence sequence corresponding to the number 0. This is be a convergent sequence corresponding to the number 0. Okay. 0. So, means 0 is this point. So, there the sequences are there such that mod of epsilon n is can be made as small as please. So, this sequence correspond to a convergence sequence correspond to 0. Let us suppose this one. Now, take any x 1, take a point x 1 in belongs to L and x 2 in R, such that the difference of this x 2 minus x 1 is less than epsilon, because any element of L is less than any element of R. So, x 2 minus x 1 is positive, but this difference should be less than epsilon 1. Okay. Now, choose another one now. Next choose x 3, choose x 3 in L and x 4 in R, such that x 1 is less than x 3, less than x 4, x 3, and x 4 is less than x 2. So, what we are doing is, this is our number, say I am taking x 1 here, x 2 here, the difference of this is less than epsilon 1. Then I am picking up the number x 3 in L and a number R x 4 in R. So, obviously, x 3 is less than R 3, such that x 4 minus x 3 is less than say epsilon 2. Continue this. So, we continue this, then what happen is we are getting a sequence. So, we are getting continue this. So, we get a sequence of rational numbers x 1, x 3 and so on, x 2 n minus 1 and so on in L and x 2, x 4, x 2 n in R, such that the difference of these two, is it not, such that difference of x 2 n minus x 2 n minus 1 is less than epsilon n. We are choosing in this fashion. Okay. Now, this way we have, so corresponding to a section, we have now generated a sequence. Now, this sequence x 1 odd suffix index is in L, or even index is in D. Now, we claim that these two sequences x 2 n minus 1 and x 2 n, these will be a convergent sequence. Why? Clearly, the sequence x 2 n minus 1 and x 2 n are convergent sequences of rational numbers, Why? Why it is so? Because the reason is the x 1 x 2, because x 1 is less than x 3, is less than x 5, less than and so on, x 2 n minus 1, and all are less than x 2. X 2 lying in R 2, x 2 lies in R 2. So, whatever the sequence you are choosing, it is in R 2, every element will be in less than the element of x 2. Now, so this sequence, this implies the sequence x 2 n minus 1 is a monotonic increasing sequence, is it not? Increasing sequence which is bounded above, by x 2, and we know every monotonic increasing sequence which is bounded above is convergent. So, it is convergent. Similarly, the sequence x 2 n is a convergent sequence, because x 2 n is also what? X 2 s because x 2 is less than, is greater than x 4, is greater than x 8, is greater than, and so on. It is a decreasing sequence and bounded below, it is monotonic decreasing sequence of rationals which is bounded below. By x 2, is it not? It is a monotonic decreasing sequence, which is bounded above, which is bounded, yes, which is bounded below, or maybe bounded above. It is a decreasing sequence which is bounded below by which number? By x, by which number this is? X 1, x 2, x 3. So, which is bounded below by what? Every element of this?
Every element of
L, which is bounded below by the elements of L, is it not? So, this L, therefore, it is convergent and converges to. So, these two sequences are convergent sequence. Okay. Now, once they are convergent and also they satisfy equation, further mod or x 2 n minus x 2 n minus 1, this is less than epsilon n, which tends to 0 when n is 2 n minus 1, 2 n minus 1. So, this is less than which goes to 0 as n tends to infinity, is it not? Because epsilon is a sequence converging to 0. So, this sequence, it means these two sequences are identical sequence. So, this implies that sequence x to n and sequence x to n minus 1 will give the same real number. Same real number, say x. Is it okay? Now, we have with the help of this section we have generated a sequence, and now we claim that this section, if you take any element in the lower class, okay, then if L does not have a upper bound, least say upper bound, then element of the lower class will be less than the element of upper class, and so on. So, next we show let A be a rational number, A be a rational number belonging to R. Belonging to R upper class, and R be another number, and R be another number belonging to R which is less than A. Less than A. So, this is the point. Here we are taking R, this is A, here we are taking a point A, and this is our R. Now, these are the sequences x 1, x 3 and so on, odd sequences. Here we are getting x 2, x 4 and so on. These are the sequences x 2. So, if we take the difference of this from the lower term, what you get? A minus, so A minus x to n minus 1, odd terms. This is equal to A minus R plus R minus x to n minus 1. Now, A is here, A is greater than R. So, this term is positive. Now, R is a rational number belonging to, so every element of this will be greater than the element of this. So, it is positive. It means that whenever you choose any number in the upper class, it is always be greater than the elements of the unless R has a some least number. So, therefore, this number A is always greater than this any element of this sequence, is it not? Unless R has a least number. Similarly, we can prove the other. Similarly, we can show that any element of this. So, similarly every member of R every member of L, sorry, this is all already, every member of L is less than the terms of this sequence x to n. Okay. But these two sequences are equivalent, they give the same number. Okay. So, thus the section LR defines the same number, as the sequence either x to n minus 1 or x to n, because both give the same number, is it not? So, but if R has any least number, then it will belongs to one of the class, either R n, and in that case also, if we in case R has a least number A, then we have a minus x 2 n minus 1 is less than x 2 n minus 2 n minus 2 n minus 1, which is less than say epsilon n. Okay. So, what it shows that this thing goes to 0, it means a is identical to the sequence x 2 n minus 1, this number identical to this sequence. Similarly, a is also identical to x n. So, this shows that both are equivalent, and okay. So, this gives the okay. So, this proves the equivalence of the two terminology. Okay. So, this is complete the concept of this number theory, real numbers with the help of Cantor's and Dedekind's. Okay. Now, let us come to the now we will discuss the limits of sequences. This pen is not good. Limit of sequences. Okay. Suppose a n be a sequence, we say the sequence a n is the limit. Let a n be a sequence of real number. I am just saying now real number. Okay. I am not now taking any rational or something, real numbers. Yes.
Sir, I think from the previous film was perhaps better.
Better.
Picture is better.
Okay. 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 Let a n be a sequence of real numbers. Suppose we say limit of the a n as n tends to infinity is say L, means for a given epsilon greater than 0, for a given epsilon greater than 0, there exists a positive integer n naught such that the difference between a n minus L, this difference can be made less than epsilon for all n when n is greater than n naught. Okay. The meaning of this is very clear. Suppose we have this number L and there are the sequences a 1, a 2, a n and so on. We say this sequence converges to L. It means that if we find out the distance from each L, from each term, distance of each term from L, then this distance keep on reducing and reduce it to 0, then we say the sequence a n converges to L. Basically, this mode is the distance. This mode means the absolute difference between the two values. Now, a n and L both are real numbers. They can be represented by means of a point on the real on the axis. So, once you have the point, you can identify the distance, and this is the distance a n minus L. Why absolute value? Because there may be a sequence which may converge from this side, it may go from left hand side. So, L may be less than this, L may be greater than this. So, but in absolute value, the distance must tends to 0 as n tends. So, we say the sequence is said to be convergent when the difference between a n minus L, or the distance of a n from L keep on reducing and reduce to 0. So, this is the way we can. Now, this has been generalized to an arbitrary metric space, because this is the case when we are dealing with the real numbers only or complex numbers. Then once you have the real or complex number, the distance notion is simply the absolute value, isn't it? The absolute difference between the 2 points is the distance of the two real number or distance between the two complex number. But suppose x is an arbitrary set of points, then the notion of the distance will be defined in such a way, so that the axioms of the usual notation must retain. Okay. That is this. So, that we will take in fact in fact, in an arbitrary space, in an arbitrary set of points x, okay, which has the notion of the distance by d, notion of distance given by d, okay, given by d, we say a sequence A n converges to L under D if for a given epsilon greater than 0 there exists an n naught such that the distance between A n comma L is less than epsilon for all n greater than equal to n naught. This is a general way, but we are not dealing with the general, that is why I restricted only mode. But what is the distance function? Distance means that a distance d, a function d is a mapping. What is the metric or distance function? This is non-negative, it always be greater than equal to 0 and 0 when the 2 points are coincident. Okay. Then we get the reverse, if A n and L is position reverse, we get the same value, and then the triangular inequality. So, these conditions are satisfied, then we. So, we are not there, that is why we will drop this one and we will simply take up the mod sign just to say. Okay. Because here in fact, I wanted to introduce that metric distance, but because it is early. So, that is why it is not okay. So, we will take this. Now, divergence sequences divergence sequence. We define the divergence sequence A n is said to be diverging. A sequence A n is said to tend plus infinity, is said to plus infinity if corresponding to a positive number, if corresponding to a positive number a however large, a number, an integer n naught, an integer n naught greater than 0 can be found, can be determined such that ANs are greater than A for whenever n is greater than n naught. We say the sequence n tends to plus infinity. So, these are the sequence A 1, A 2, A n and so on, and this tends to plus infinity. It means, the limit of this sequence A n is not finite, it is infinite. So, it is a diverging sequence. A sequence is said to be diverging when the limit of the sequence does not exist. Either it will be a plus infinity or minus infinity, then it is said to be a diverging sequence. Okay. So, when you say it is a sequence A n goes to plus infinity, means that whatever the number you choose, you can always find an integer n naught such that the value of the coordinate of this sequence will exceed by that number. Suppose I would say a is equal to 10 to the power 10 to the power 10, then this number is there, say 10 to the power 10 to the power 10 like this. Then one can identify a number n naught here, that all the terms of the sequence after this will greater than this number. So, we say it is tending to plus infinity. Similarly, we say a sequence A n, similarly sequence tends to minus infinity if corresponding to a large positive number A, large positive number A, n naught can be determined, such that A n's are less than minus A for all n greater than or equal to n naught. Then it is tending to minus infinity. Okay. So, a sequence which is either a sequence A n for which either the limit of A n as n tends to infinity is plus infinity or minus infinity, limit of this tends to plus infinity or minus infinity, is it not? Plus infinity or minus infinity is said to be a diverging sequence. Of real numbers. Okay, of real numbers. Okay. For examples are, suppose I take A n, the sequence say n square, this will diverge. Okay. Similarly, other sequences also you can say it will diverge to plus infinity. If I take A n equivalent to say minus n, it will diverge to minus infinity, like this and so on. Okay. Then oscillating sequence, oscillating sequence. A sequence A n of real numbers is said to be oscillating if the limit of A n as n tends to infinity does not exist, and limit of this neither does not exist or neither tends to a finite value, or nor or plus infinity or minus, nor plus infinity or minus infinity, The meaning is that A n is such where the limit does not exist. Limit does not exist means that is limit of the sequence A n when n tends to infinity does not exist. Because when we say the limit exists, it means whatever the path you choose, because by the definition of the limit, when the limit is there, this is the definition of the limit, that if the limit exists means this is less than. So, whatever the path you choose, the limit of A n minus L can be made as small as we please. The difference between A and L should be made as smaller in this as one can desire. There should not be fluctuation, but if such a sequence are there where this difference cannot be made smaller, sometimes it is small, sometimes it becomes very large, then in that case the limit does not exist, or along different subsequences it has different values, then the limit does not exist. For example, if suppose I take a n to be minus 1 to the power n, then along the positive path it will go to 1 if n is even. That is, when the sequence are chosen like this a 2, a 4 etc., the limit will go to 1. But if the sequence is chosen to be odd, then n is odd, that is a 1, a 3, this limit will go to minus 1. So, the sequence when n tends to infinity does not tends to a one value, because it fluctuates like this. Here this minus 1, here is plus 1. So, what happen is a n you cannot find any. Suppose I take 1 is the value, then a n minus 1 cannot be made epsilon, because as soon as a n odd becomes, then it will be minus 1, minus 2. So, it becomes very large. Similarly, so it does not go to that, does not have a finite value limit. Similarly, if we take the sequence minus 1 to the power n, say this one, then what happen when n is sufficiently large, when even number, it will go to plus infinity, it goes to plus infinity if n is even, and goes to minus infinity if n is odd. So, it does not have the limit. Okay. Similarly, however, the sequence a n which is minus 1 to the power n by n is not an oscillating series, is not is not a sequence, sorry, is not an oscillating sequence. Why? Oscillating sequence are those sequence whose limit does not exist, the limit is not tending to a finite value or plus infinity or minus infinity. Now, this sequence tends to value 0, though it is alternately positive negative, but what happens if this is the value 0, you are getting minus 1 by n, plus 1 by n, then as n increases you are taking minus 2 by n, plus 1 by 2 n, like this. So, this goes to here, this goes to here. So, after a certain stage, the difference between a n minus 0 can be made as small as we please, is it not? So, that is why this sequence is a convergent sequence, converges to 0. So, it is not a 0, but convergent. Okay? This is convergence. Then bounded sequence. So, we say here also we can characterize the oscillating sequence of finitely oscillating and infinite. Finitely oscillating sequence when the limit tends to does not tends to finite value, but does not go to plus infinity minus infinity, but it alternates, and infinite means that is when we are unable to get, that is a sequence is said to be a finitely oscillating. No remark, a sequence, an oscillating sequence a n is said to be finitely oscillating if there exists a number a, if it is possible to find a number a greater than 0, such that all the terms of the sequence remain less than a, all the terms of the sequence remain less than a for all values of n. We are able to get it just like this series. This sequence is a finitely oscillative, because a number 1 can be obtained such that mod of this A, but this is not A, because it does not even A you cannot find. Otherwise infinite oscillatory. Sequence. Okay. So, we can characterize these two into two. Okay. Bounded sequence we have already discussed. So, no point of view bounded sequence, and then every convergent sequence is bounded. A sequence A n is said to be bounded. A sequence A n of real numbers is said to be bounded if there exists k and capital K such that A n is greater than equal to small k, greater than equal to is less than equal to capital K. Suppose we have the two bond, it is not necessary that we have the same bond. Okay. So, a sequence A n is said to be bounded below if there is a small k such that all the terms of the sequence are greater than equal to k, then this will give the bounded below, while this thing will give bounded above. Okay. Bounded above. And if we combine both these and let capital A be the maximum of k and capital K. Okay. In fact, this is capital K only. Okay. Then in that case mod of A n is less than equal to k, then we say this sequence is bounded. Okay. Bounded. So, lower bounded, above bounded and bounded, or like this. Okay. So, we get this one, and every convergent sequence is a bounded sequence, that we have seen in the. So, result is every convergent sequence is a bounded sequence, is bounded. I think this proof we have done is. What about the converse? Can you say every bounded sequence is convergent? The answer is no, but converse is not true. However, converse need not be true, because if you take the, for example, if you take the sequence A n minus 1 to the power n, this is a bounded sequence, but not convergent. Okay. So, we can get this clear. Now, fundamental theorems of this limit is the same as this. So, we are not touching those things. Okay. Let us see the results, which is very important result. There is one result which is known as the sandwich theorem. What this result says is, if sequence A n, B n and sequence C n, let A n, B n and C n be are the sequences such that of real numbers, such that are the sequences of real numbers such that A n's are less than B n less than C n. Okay. Suppose we have this sequence, and this is true for all values of n. That is, 3 sequences are given and they satisfy these inequalities for all n, and limit of A n as n tends to infinity is the same as the limit of C n as n tends to infinity, and suppose it is n. Then what this result says, then the limit of this sequence B n will also be L. This is known as the sandwich theorem, that if you want to find the limit of the sequence B n, if we are able to identify the lower and the upper bounds for each n, that is A n sequences where the corresponding terms are satisfying this condition, and if this left hand sequence and right hand sequence converges to the same limit, then the middle sequence will also converge to the same sequence. Okay. Okay. The proof is very simple. Proof is not that, because proof is why it is so, because A n is given to be L. Okay. So, since limit of this A n is L, so it implies that A n must lie between L minus epsilon L and L plus epsilon L for n greater than or equal to n 1. Similarly, limit of this B n is L. So, this implies that L minus, say same epsilon L we can choose, or different also.
Limit of
C n, sorry, limit of C n. So, L minus epsilon less than C n less than L plus epsilon L after integer n greater than or equal to n 2. Now, if I picked up the n greater than n 1 and n 2, choose n naught as the maximum of n 1 and n 2. So, for all n greater than n naught, this condition is satisfied, for all n greater than n 2, this condition will satisfy. Okay. So, we get from here A n and B n lying. So, B n is the number lying between A n and C n. So, we can say L minus epsilon L is less than B n at the most equal to less than L plus epsilon for all n greater than n naught. Is it not clear? So, as n tends to infinity, limit of the B n will go to n. So, this okay. Now, this is used to find the limit of the complicated expression. For example, what is the use? Suppose I take this problem, prove that limit of this as n tends to infinity 1 by n square, 1 by n plus 1 whole square, and so on, 1 by 2 n square is 0. Limit of this is 0. We wanted to show this part. So, we know that 1 by n square 1 plus n, the lowest term is 1 by 2 n up, and largest term is this. So, which calculation shows that 1 by n square 1 over n plus 1 whole square and 1 by 2 n square. This will be less than, total terms are what, n plus 1 starting with n to n plus 1. So, total term is n plus 1 into 1 by 2 n square and greater than n plus 1 into 1 by n square, okay, or clearly just we get this, is it not? Now, as n tends to infinity, this is our A n's, this is our C n's. So, as n tends to infinity, because the denominator is having larger degree than the denominator. So, this will go to 0, this will go to 0. So, A n and B C n, limit of this A n is 0 is the same as the limit of C n. Therefore, limit of B n must go to 0. So, this implies limit of this B n must, this is our B n's. Okay. So, this shows the very interesting things, is it like this. Now, monotonic sequence, there are also similar types of this monotonic sequences. We have seen that there are two types of sequences which are either in non decreasing or means A 1 is less than or equal to A 2 less than equal to A 3 etc. These are called the non decreasing sequence, monotone sequences. Non decreasing, okay. It keep on in here, but may be constant also, or A 1 greater than equal to A 3. This is called non increasing sequence, monotone sequence. Or if we have this one, then it is called the strictly increasing monotone sequences, okay, monotonic. And if we have this one, then we say strictly decreasing. So, we get this one. Okay. Now, if these monotone sequence are there and if it is bounded above, say non decreasing sequence which is bounded above, then it will have the limit. If it is a monotonic decreasing sequence bounded below, then it will also have a limit. So, these two results we have already discussed, is it not? So, just I will just result. Okay. A monotonic decreasing sequence, a monotonic increasing sequence tends to either to limit or a monotonic increasing non decreasing sequence which is bounded above will be convergent. Similarly, a monotonic non increasing sequence which is bounded below will be convergent. In general, a monotonic sequence, the limit of the monotone sequence will be either finite or plus minus infinity in general, but these are the convergent criteria. So, either monotone in non decreasing or strictly increasing or strictly decreasing, that is what this also level. Now, this will be used also to find the limits. Suppose for example, if we take this a n sequence as under root n plus 1 minus under root n, and I ask what is the limit of this. So, if you go to the limit as n tends to infinity, what you are getting? Infinity minus infinity, which is indeterminate, we cannot get it, but if we slightly if we manipulate it, we get divide and multiply by this. So, when you multiply by this number, then you get x square minus a square, that becomes 1, and this is equivalent to this sequence, is it not? Now, this sequence is monotonically what? Increasing or decreasing? Decreasing, and tends to 0 as n tends to. So, limit is 0, that is what, is it not? So, we will look the some limits also which are very interesting, particularly the 2-3 limits which we get as an exercise next time. Okay. Thank you very much.